Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the NASCAR Report. I'm your host, Tyler White. Thanks for joining us tonight as we take a look back at the NASCAR weekend, beginning with a truck race at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway on Saturday afternoon. The University of Northern Ohio 175. Cole Custer becomes the youngest winner in all of NASCAR history at the age of 16. Congratulations, Cole. Darrell Wallace Jr. second, Matt Crafton third, Johnny Sauter fourth, John Henry Nemechek fifth, Cameron Haley sixth, Eric Jones 7th, Tyler Reddick 8th, Ryan Blaney 9th, and Joey Coulter 10th. Now, youth movement is growing big in NASCAR this year. We've got Kyle Larson in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. A serious threat for Rookie of the Year, which in my bold prediction, he will win the Rookie of the Year this year. And also proving himself that he can win big in our sport. Came so close at winning a few races. My bold prediction is he will be a Sprint Cup champion in the future. A lot of people are calling him the next Jeff Gordon, and I agree with that statement. We've got Chase Elliott in the Nationwide Series, proving that he is the next best thing. He is as good as his father was. 3 wins this year, and the points leader in the Nationwide Series, a serious threat for the championship, which we'll talk about that in just a moment. And then we got Cole Custer. The first time he ever proved to me that he could make it big in our sport was when he sat on the pole at Gateway. Qualifies on the pole, has a top 10 finish. And at New Hampshire, has very fast practice times. Had a fast practice time on Friday. Qualified on the pole and won the race on Saturday. Let me tell you, he's going to win some more races this year, and I think he's the next best thing, too. That's my bold prediction. A look now at the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series point standings. Matt Crafton, your points leader. Johnny Sauter, second. Ryan Blaney, third. Darrell Wallace Jr., fourth. Herman Quiroga, fifth. Joey Coulter, sixth. Ben Kennedy, seventh. Timothy Peters 8th, Jeb Burton 9th, and Ron Hornaday 10th. Now, Matt Crafton, if he can have a top 5 or a top 10 finish the next 3 or 4 races, he's just going to run away and get his second championship. That's my bold prediction. Last year, he got his first championship. This year, I believe he will get his second championship. That is my bold prediction. Back-to-back championships for Matt Crafton. And a look at the NASCAR Nationwide Series race from the Kentucky Speedway on Saturday night. The VisitMyrtleBeach.com 300, and boy did we see an exciting finish. Brendan Gaughan took the lead with 5 laps to go to get his second win of the season. Congratulations, Brendan. Brian Scott, second. Ty Dillon, third. Chase Elliott, fourth. Regan Smith, fifth. Cale Conley, sixth. Chris Buescher, seventh. Michael McDowell, eighth. Justin Boston in his first career nationwide start finishes ninth. And Ross Chastain finishes 10th. Now, I think it's time for the Trucks and Sprint Cup to move their Kentucky dates to fall with the Nationwide Series, and the fall date for the Nationwide Series should be the only date. Because the time they do it in the summertime, it's very hot, way too hot for them to have a race there. Not everyone's going to stand there in the heat. I remember 2012, that race, all 3 races that weekend in the summer, it was in a heat index of 105. That is too hot for fans to sit out. So, in my opinion, they should move the Truck Series back to fall, move the Sprint Cup date to fall. Nationwide race should keep their fall date, but get rid of their summer date in 2016, because 2015 they're going to keep having it in July. But 2016, move it to fall, have the truck race on a Thursday night, Nationwide race on a Friday night, Sprint Cup on a Saturday night, because fall is more cooler temperatures there in Kentucky. A look now at the NASCAR Nationwide Series point standings, and as we mentioned at the top of the show, Chase Elliott is your points leader. Regan Smith, second. Ty Dillon, third. Brian Scott, fourth. Elliott Sadler, fifth. Brendan Gaughan, sixth. Trevor Baynes, sixth. Brendan Gaughan, seventh, excuse me. Chris Buescher, eighth. Ryan Reed, ninth. And James Buescher, 10th. Now, Chase Elliott, he's on the verge of making history. Earlier, we said Cole Custer is the youngest winner in all of NASCAR history. The youngest champion in all of NASCAR history. That record's going to be broken. Chase Elliott will win the championship this year. He's running away with it. That's my bold prediction. So far, the youngest champion is Austin Dillon when he won the Truck Series Championship in 2011 at the age of 21. But that record is about to be broken. Chase Elliott will be the youngest champion in all of NASCAR history by winning this year's Nationwide Series Championship at the age of 18. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my bold prediction, and that's going to be a record that will not be broken. And now look at yesterday's second race in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. In the second race of the new Challenger round, Joe Logano took the lead on the green-white checker finish to get his 4th win this season and his 2nd win at his home track. Congratulations, Joey. Kyle Larson, as we mentioned, he's showing everyone that he can win these races. He's finished 2nd for the 2nd straight weekend. Kevin Harvick, finished 4th last week, finished 2nd this week, excuse me. Kevin Harvick 3rd, Jamie McMurray 4th. Jimmy Johnson 5th, Eric Almirola 6th, Brad Keselowski 7th. Kyle Busch 8th, Dale Earnhardt Jr. 9th, and Brian Vickers 10th. Now, great short track racing yesterday. The first half of the race looked more like the fall race at Richmond. But once we got in the second half, we saw more wrecks, more cautions. I literally thought we were going to see a fight after the race yesterday due to how many wrecks were going on. Especially between Kasey Kahne and Kyle Busch, since they've had a history between each other. But we didn't, but still, great short track racing yesterday. A look now at the point standings. Brad Keselowski remains the points leader. Joey Logano 2nd. Kevin Harvick 3rd. Jimmy Johnson 4th. Kyle Busch 5th. Dale Earnhardt Jr. 6th. Jeff Gordon 7th. Matt Kenseth 8th. Carl Edwards 9th. AJ Allmendinger 10th. Kasey Kahne 11th. Ryan Newman 12th. Denny Hamlin 13th. Greg Biffle 14th. Kurt Busch 15th. And Eric Almirola 16th. Now, next week at Dover, the last race of the Challenger round. After that, 4 drivers will be eliminated, and 12 will move on to the Contender round, which consists of 3 races. Kansas, the fall race at Charlotte, the Saturday night race at Charlotte, the fall race, and then Talladega. After those 3 races, the top 8 will move on to the Eliminator round. Martinsville, Texas, and Phoenix. After that race, the 4 drivers will move on to the championship round at Homestead, and the highest finisher will be the champion. So, after this week, 4 drivers will be eliminated, and we'll move on to top 12. The points will be reset each different round. So, as we all know, Brad Keselowski locked himself into the next round by winning last week at Chicago. Joe Logano locked himself into the next round by winning yesterday. I believe Kevin Harvick, that's kind of an iffy. He's not very good at Dover, but he had a very good run in the June race. Jimmy Johnson, of course, I think he's going to get in to the next round. We know how good his record is at Dover. Kyle Busch, I believe, will get into the next round. I mean, he's ran strong this season, both in Nationwide and Sprint Cup. Dale Earnhardt Jr., I believe he's going to get into the next round. I think he had a very impressive run in the June race. Jeff Gordon, I believe, will get into the next round. We've seen 3 times this season, he would bounce back from races like he had yesterday by winning the following week. The spring race at Talladega, Jeff Gordon gets taken out early by crashing, finished 40th, but he rebounded by winning the night race at Kansas. The July race at New Hampshire, Jeff runs out of fuel, finishes 26th, but we go back after the off week to Indianapolis, the Brickyard 400, a track where Jeff Gordon is dominant at, and he went on to win the Brickyard 400 by rebounding. And then at Watkins Glen, had trouble with the battery problems, did not have a good finish there, but he rebounced with a win at Michigan in the August race. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Jeff Gordon rebounds with a win at Dover next week. Matt Kenseth, I believe he'll move on to the next round. We know how good he is at Dover. Carl Edwards, I think he will have a good shot at moving on to the next round. AJ Allmendinger, that's pretty iffy. Kasey Kahne, iffy. I think Ryan Newman definitely will move on to the next round. He's very good at Dover. Denny Hamlin, I don't think he will move on to the next round. This is his worst track. Greg Biffle, I don't think he'll move on. He's not had a very good run this season. Kurt Busch, I think, will move on to the next round. He's very good at Dover. But Eric Almirola, I don't think we'll see him move on to the next round. So there you have it, folks. When we go to Dover on Sunday, there will be a new field set for the Contender round. And that's our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us tonight, race fans. I'm Tyler White. We'll be back here on Friday to get you ready for the race weekend. We begin with doubleheader Saturday, the NASCAR Nationwide Series, doing the Monster Mash at the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. Then we have a special late night edition of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, but it won't be so late over where they're racing that because they'll be in Las Vegas. And then on Sunday, the final challenger round race, which will determine who will move on to the contender round in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. We'll show you everything, what you can expect. We'll take a look at weather reports from Fox 5 in Las Vegas and Fox 29 in Philadelphia. We'll take a look back at one of the most emotional races in NASCAR history. We'll look at that very emotional race in 2001. Plus, if there are any new developments going on in the world of NASCAR, we will be right here to let you know about them. Until then, this is Tyler White reminding you, for you to do unto others as you would have them do to you. We'll see you back here for another edition of the NASCAR Report, everybody. Have a great night.